Yeah, also thanks for having me here in San Diego. This is just my second time here in my life. Yeah, my name's Ryan Harvey. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm on a little tour here. I just put a new CD out a couple of months ago called Blowback. I got all my CDs over there on the table, and you can either like leave money on the table or come find me or whatever, or you can take them if you want them. Anything you give would help me out. Yeah, so I'm gonna sing you some songs about some different issues. Sort of a lot of them touching on what's going on in this country right now, which I tend to sing about. So I'm part of this group called the Riot Folk Collective. We just recently celebrated our 6th birthday, and pretty exciting. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll just open up. This is anybody heard Rebel Diaz?
Yeah.
Me and Rebel Diaz. I think we are the first musicians to respond to the bailout with a song. This is my one. Living in a city like Baltimore, which is a lot like most cities, you know, where we got 12,000 homeless folks, we got 35,000 abandoned houses that they're not allowed to live in because it's a fire hazard, but, you know, freezing to death is not a hazard apparently. So, but what Baltimore needed was a $500 million Hilton hotel. So they got them one. And now with stimulus money, what we need is a new highway, which we didn't need. It's just stimulus. Like, well, we gotta do something. And so this song is a response to that sort of completely backwards economic program. So. United States, bought and sold, folks sleeping out on the streets of gold, working family debt piles high, economic homicide, close the shelter, close the schools, build condos for the lucky few, inflate that real estate balloon, rebuild the city for the silver spoons. They need a new hotel, they need a new convention center and 2 stadiums, and they don't want to pay for them. Unelected, suit and ties in the era of free enterprise, making record profits from the finance boom with the gold taxpayer parachutes, throwing money around the globe, knocking countries over with the heavy load, shock therapy, troops and tricks, predatory economics. It's 2011 and we're racing down to the bottom. It's 2011 and we're racing down to the bottom. $1 trillion bailout deal, throw it all on the roulette wheel. In unrestricted greed we trust, come the bust, this country's fucked. Bail out the bankers, not the single moms, take loans from China to pay for the bombs. Give the rich banker the bailout funds, it'll trickle down like sewage does. It's 2011 and we're racing down to the bottom. It's 2011 and we're racing down to the bottom. World's greatest debtor nations got the planet locked in debt repayments, prosecuting petty thieves while the companies do it all legally. The first world elite's imperial dream made the third world through investment schemes. Now they're starving in a world of food. That's no mistake, that's an attitude. It's 2011 and we're racing down to the bottom. It's 2011 and we're racing down to the bottom. So, now that that's out of the way, the people who make policies like that, I believe, are one of 2 things: completely ignorant, or just mean, evil, whatever you want to call it. This song sort of is like a snapshot of the world that those people don't see, or the world that they ignore, and usually the world that they do not come from. That's the other economy. It's one of the other Americas, you know. And I wrote this song because I was at work. I'm a construction worker for money, and not for fun. No. I was on this job site one day, right here where I live, and I heard a gunshot. So I ran to the window, and I saw a young kid running down the street who had, you know, obviously just shot somebody. And I ran outside, and there was a kid lying in the street who had just been shot. Both of the kids about 14 years old, maybe. And you know, I ran up to see if I could help this kid. And thankfully, he had only been shot in the hip. And he lived and stuff, and he was fine. I mean, damaged, but could have been a lot worse. And there's a big drug intersection right where he was shot at, right? But the thing that hit me the most in the whole scene that occurred there was there's about 12 people that gathered at the scene of the shooting, and most of them were men, and only one person was crying, and that was this young woman who was really close to this guy. And I was thinking about how I wanted to be crying too, but I wasn't. And I was wondering why I wasn't crying, why I wasn't showing more outrage. And I went home thinking about how much hope I saw in that young woman's tears, because she was like in touch with the situation, you know, and how these young men that were gathered around for different reasons were showing anger instead of sadness. And not that they shouldn't be angry, but they should be sad too. But so many men are raised in this society and taught to put sadness behind them and put anger in front of their sadness, and use anger as their main emotion, and that's the emotion. And anger is the emotion that gets 14-year-olds shot. So I wrote the song about that. Blue summer sky, muggy summer heat, and then old Mason's laughing, laying blocks of concrete. It's that out in the open charm of a Baltimore street, and a bullet flies by. Seen the kid shot, heard him crying out, trying to find somebody who can make the pain stop. His sister was crying on the steps, fearing what would happen next. More of the same. She's searching for a new world in the shadow of the old, trying to shake off the past, but it's such a heavy load. Looking for direction, but there's so many dead-end roads. It's so far, so far, so far away from here. Got the scapegoat, got the blame, got the anger, got the shame, got 100 different forces working against you and your name. There's so few to trust in this world of guns and handcuffs. It's more of the same. And she's searching for a new world in the shadow of the old, trying to shake off the past, but it's such a heavy load. Looking for direction, but there's so many dead-end roads. It's so far, so far, so far away from here. But she still finds time to smile, selling snowballs on the porch, singing songs as she walks to the grocery store. Too young to hold such pain, but she's old enough to try. Oh, here's a future, brother, it's in your sister's open mind. And she's searching for a new world in the shadow of the old, trying to shake off the past, but it's such a heavy load. Looking for direction, but there's so many dead-end roads. It's so far, so far, so far away from here. So yeah, the next few songs are kind of in a similar, looking at snapshots of people in this country and stuff. So most of my family is white working class folks from South Jersey. And,
Jersey! White folks!
This was inspired by someone. But this song is sort of about that, some of like the mythologies that have built the white working class as an identity, as white people. And And you know, a lot of folks, when they refer to the working class, they're referring to the white working class, and it's a really strange thing, especially in my experience, white people, when they talk about the working class, I should say. I wrote this about that, and about that sort of like some of the mythology and some of the dynamics that I have observed. So, and hold tight, because the next song's about the Tea Party.
Yeah.
And this is about the conditions that lead to the Tea Party. I know a man who hates unions, even though he's in a union. The wage he gets from being union gave him what he's got. He lives life quite nicely with a big house and a family. Seldom has to worry about paying all his bills. Yes, the power he got from his union card and his free time born from union blood gave him a happy life. I know a woman who hates the poor because she's scared herself of being poor, and she hates how it's so close to her from where she's at right now. She hangs through life on a thin thread, and the pundits offer her hatred to make her feel like she's elevated above somebody else. But she knows and I know she's right there in the shadows with all the somebody else's. Well, America, you can look like this, raised hard by the mist of whiteness, clinging with a tightness to a xenophobic past. Well, the deck from which your hands are dealt is stacked centuries deep in commonwealth, and the stories that your people tell are those of hope and pain. We got angry men who were raised deprived, emotionally traumatized, whose way of dealing with the world outside is to rage or block it out. And women working most of their lives unappreciated by the men in their lives, who know what it means to feel alive because they know what it means to hurt. The ignorance bred from despair, that's what we got here. Well, America, you can look like this, raised hard by the mist of whiteness, clinging with a tightness to a xenophobic past. The deck from which your hands are dealt is stacked centuries deep in commonwealth, and the stories that your people tell are those of hope and pain. Well, I was raised by parents who worked hard, and they taught me how to work hard. But a lot of people work hard and don't get what they deserve. And so it was early on that I learned which side I'm on, the one that fights for human rights in a world of dollar signs. Well, you can call that radical, but I just call it practical. You know? Well, America, you can look like this, raised hard by the mist of whiteness, clinging with a tightness to a xenophobic past, but that ain't gonna last. It's a good thing I have a capo, because when I drink a certain amount of cups of coffee, I have to sing one note higher. Does that happen to anybody else? This goes out to Glenn Beck. This is my show of appreciation for him reclaiming the civil rights movement. Y'all remember that shit?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Martin Luther King Day March, that was nice.
Makes me think of that Dead Prez song, I Have a Dream Too. Tea party on the Capitol lawn, asking you which side you're on, drawing battle lines in this country. We're a rich nation full of boarded homes, crowded prisons, abandoned schools, poor folks with hard goals, rich folks with poor souls, undereducated, underhomed, underpaid but overloaned, clinging hard to what we own, trying to win the rat race. Oh, so you hate taxes taxes on the working poor, unless of course they're for the war or putting a wall along the border. But not for nurses or doctors, priorities flip the way it looks to me. And I work hard as shit for my money, but I don't believe in an economy that forces folks to crawl. Tea party on the Capitol lawn, and Sarah Palin singing along, laughing all the way to the Pentagon. It's like just when you thought George Bush couldn't get any stupider, God sent Sarah Palin herself down. And Glenn Beck. Tea party on the Capitol lawn, asking you which side you're on, drawing battle lines in this country. Oh, but there's something about our worldview, something about the lens we look through, that keeps us from building something new that works out better for more of us. Well, it's in the cracks where the levees broke, it's in the cash Goldman Sachs stole, it's in the fields of tomatoes where the legacy of slavery rolls. It's a hatred born of jealous fear, a hatred born and bred right here, xenophobic and insecure with a deadly outcome. It's a racism that grows and thrives when religion's used to justify an endless list of human rights denied in the name of liberty. Tea party on the Capitol lawn, and the Christian terrorists are singing along, getting ready for the race war. Remember those guys in Michigan? Y'all recall that? Who the media wouldn't call terrorists even though they were stocking homemade bombs. I always thought in this day and age that homemade bombs were typically part of the terrorist arsenal, you know. But then if you're like an animal rights activist or environmental activist, you get like your own terrorism acts. But if you're a white Christian, you can make bombs to blow up funerals, which is what they're doing. They're telling me immigrants should go back home. I say no, the ground that you're standing on. Cause Arizona was Mexico and your grandparents were Europeans, and your national heroes like Thomas Paine were immigrants when they came and called themselves Americans. And that's how it's always been. The Marine One and steal your jobs, they were outsourced by Bill and Ron as South America's wealth was robbed by U.S. corporations. So when they dumped the tea in Boston, it was an attack against the corporation. So I don't see the connection between that story and yours. And Christmas addicts and the Boston dead weren't fighting for a white nation. They were fighting an occupation like the Iraq and Afghan wars. Tea party on the Capitol lawn, asking you which side you're on, drawing battle lines in this country. So, I'll send a specialized gift to anybody who can email me if they can find a photo of a Tea Party rally, or a photo. I'll take a mention in text too from an official Tea Party source that mentions or depicts or invokes Crispus Attucks. I'll make you a specialized gift of your choice. Crispus Attucks was the first person to die in the American Revolution. He was black. You do not see his face when these freaks invoke, even though that was my identity in high school. Freak, that is. When they invoke Thomas Jefferson and all these great white men, and you know, they don't actually invoke. What they're invoking is what they call heritage, and what I like to invoke is called history, and they're different things. On that note, I wrote this song in dedication to Howard too. We're standing on the shoulders of people who sat and stood and fought and sacrificed their lives at times so that we'd be better off. I'm talking about ordinary people whose courage held them through. We need many Harriet Tubmans, and we need many Sojourner Truths, ordinary heroes. In the fields of California and the mines in Trinidad grew a spirit of justice that spread across the nation. nation and lit a fire that burns so bright that it still brings people hope. We need many Cesar Chavez's, and we need many Mother Joneses, ordinary heroes, ordinary heroes, ordinary heroes. Great changes don't come about from some mystical twist of luck. They're the fruits of people sweating and stressing and never giving up. It takes a lot of hard work and commitment to lift every voice and sing. We need many yellow bakers, and we need many Martin Luther Kings, ordinary heroes, ordinary heroes.